are planning to go international or to become a public speaker or just someone who has influence to just be being booked internationally, or if you want to be booked nationally in Malawi, there are things which you should put a look into so that you can be booked and you can be given opportunities internationally or even nationally. So there are things which you should take note of, because you don't just become great and you don't just become famous not because of stunts or anything else or just scandals, but as a professional, if you would want to be famous and to be making money internationally, there are things. And if you want that, today is your lucky day, because today's episode I'll be talking about things that you should put in place or things which you should have so that you can become internationally booked professional or nationally. My name is Michael Walker. I am a business development and a marketing consultant. I teach and train SMEs on how they can develop themselves or how they can manage their businesses. And you are watching Business Matters program. So the first thing that you should have if you are a professional or you would want to go international, the first thing I would encourage you to have good headshots. What do I mean? Good headshots, I mean you should have good pictures. Have you ever seen a professional that only has one picture? In every poster that you would want to be featured, or even in the news, he has one winning picture that every time, the whole year, he has been featured with one picture. Have you ever seen that? There is a guy that I normally see on Facebook. He has one picture with a gray suit. That's the only picture that he has. But the guy has money. The guy has so much money that he cannot fail to just go one day with new suits, 3 or 2, to an HD studio to just get pictures. So if you'd want to be recognized, if you'd want one day to be famous, to be recognized as a professional, have good pictures. Invest in your dressing. Have good clothes and have good pictures. If you're not good with going to the HD studio to get your pictures done, then make sure you get a good phone. Be taking professional pictures. Have we ever seen any influencer or any celebrity, international celebrity, who doesn't have pictures? They all have pictures. Picture in summer, pictures in decent, pictures at a wedding, pictures at a ceremony. So have good pictures. You know, one day the news can find you. Based on the project that you're doing, we would want to feature you into a newspaper and you don't have pictures. That would be a pity. Another international, maybe organization, would want you to feature on a website, but then you don't have pictures. As a professional, always be ready. And if you are taking videos, make sure you have a good camera. So the first thing that you should have as an international person or preparing to be famous or to be influential, to be booked, make sure you have good headshots, you have good pictures, you have good clothes. Yes, so many females, they take pictures, more pictures, and they tend to blame guys, males, when they have too many pictures, that a guy is not supposed to have so many pictures. But if your plan is to go global, make sure you have so many pictures and post them. There is nothing wrong with that. The number 2 thing which you should do if you want to go global, then at least have a website or a social media account or a page. You know, there is a saga going around that at this particular time, there is Magra has booked a certain company, and people looked for the company online. When you check that company, it has no website, it has no bio, there is just one guy. So make sure you invest in your personal branding. Be existing online. Have a Facebook page, have a LinkedIn, or have an Instagram. Be existing somewhere. People, if they cannot find you online, there is no way they are going to book you. So if you're planning or you strive that one day you should be booked for an international event, maybe you're a public speaker and you would want to be booked that you can speak somewhere, make sure you exist online. Leave a footprint. Have a website. Get someone to design a website for you, because when international people are looking for you, they'll find your website and be able to book you. Or when they are looking for you, they'll be able to find a Facebook account or a page, and they'll book you. Make sure you invest in your personal branding. Be writing articles on your page. Be talking about you. Be talking about your skills, so that when they find you, they find something relevant and something that you normally do. So make sure you have that. Another thing, the number 3 that you should have if you want to go international or if you want to be recognized, make sure you record your engagements. Maybe you're a public speaker, you speak, or you give speeches, or you give keynotes, or you want to just be recognized. Attend events and make sure you take videos. But like I said, when I was starting, I was talking on headshots. Have a good camera. Get a microphone. Be recording videos of your engagements. Be recording videos when you're giving speeches. Be recording videos when you're talking to people, or you've been invited to a small group of people. You are teaching, you are mentoring them. Take videos and post them online. They tend to be testimonials of the things which you do. So make sure you do that. And another thing is, be publishing your things online. Remember I said get a website or get a page. Those places, those platforms, be posting. Be posting your pictures, updating people what you do. You know, celebrities, they do showbiz, especially those in entertainment sector. When you want their pictures, when you want their videos, or when you want their information, you find them on their pages. I have seen so many Malawians which are public figures or high-level influential people, maybe in the government, but when you search them on the internet, you don't find their account on Wikipedia. No information comes. Even those in political organizations, in political positions, you don't find them. There are few which you can find. So make sure you leave things on your page. Get organized. Be existing. So on your platforms, be posting. Publish your videos, publish your pictures, publish your speaking engagements, publish your mentorship sessions. Everything, put them there. Or you were helping people, or you were speaking, or you got invited somewhere. Post, publish them on your platforms. So if you want to be recognized as a legit person, publish on your platforms. And another thing which you should do is to get a LinkedIn account. LinkedIn, you know, we have Facebook. This is a social media platform that people chat, people ask each other out, others do business, but there is a place where business people, executive people, people who are working, they meet, which is LinkedIn. So it's more like a social media platform, but for working class people or professionals. On LinkedIn, when you want somebody's phone number, they don't deny you because they know if you are there, you are a professional. You can share each other opportunities, work experiences, even work opportunities, grants, anything else. So make sure you have a LinkedIn account. So many opportunities nowadays, they require you to submit a social media account. And the social media account, they specify. They say, show us your LinkedIn account. So when you go on your LinkedIn, make sure you exist on LinkedIn, because one day you might fail to get a scholarship because you don't have a LinkedIn account. One day you might fail to get a job, because an international job, to be precise, because those international jobs, they ask you, can we see your LinkedIn account? They would want to prove if you are really a professional. And if you are a professional, do you post relevant stuff according to your position, according to your sector, to your field of study? So make sure you have a LinkedIn account. It will come in handy one day, and you will thank me later. The last thing that we're going to talk about, have a professional bio, a brief biography. You know, when you go on Facebook, you find people with usernames. I eat the devil, pink lips, a Bigfoot, things like those. You know, others people put in Kingman, something which people will never take you serious. Assume someone wants to employ you, or I give a recommendation that they should give you a job, and they search you online and they find you are Kingman, or you eat the devil, or your pink lips, or on Instagram people they put a girl from Chikwawa. What is it, guys? So on social media, exist as a professional. Put a bio. My name is Michael Walker. I am a business development and a marketing consultant. It's out there. You find me. So make sure you put a bio. What do you do? Others put in God's baby, a God's child, a I love God. Put something which you love, something which you do in your sector. Sometimes you fail to find jobs because online you do silly stuff. You post about politics, you scold people, you talk bad about your leaders or something else. So make sure you post things or a bio which is professional. When they come to your account, they should be able to say, okay, this guy can really develop a business plan. This guy exists as a business consultant. This guy is a nurse. This guy is a businessman. And there is a bio. And you should be able to develop a skill to trim your bio from 300 words to 200 words, or 100 words, or to 50 words, or just 5 words to summarize the things that you do. So have a bio. So make sure you do that. And today we were just talking about things which you can do so that you can be able to go global, to go international, to speak, or if you want to be famous, to be speaking in events. It doesn't just happen because you gave a prayer. A prayer would help, but also develop yourself into something influential that people can really look for you, or something which can attract opportunities. Until next time, do business the Walker's way.